going back on the record. The time is 3:01 p.m. This is the beginning of Media Unit 3.
So if your conversations with, let's say Deb Keither was recorded, do you believe that would contradict any of your testimony here today?
I don't believe that it will. I also know that a lot of things that I've discussed or shared with many people are things that are still in motion, plans, ideas, but nothing has been actually done. So I don't think there's contradictions.
Okay. This is the next exhibit, please. So this is a printout of your district director webpage, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and then if you go to the second page there, flip it over, there's contact information for you, is that right?
Yes.
What's the email that's listed there?
governance@milwaukee.k12.wi.us.
And if I sent you an email there, would you always get it?
So if you send an email to Director Carr or District 4, and you email governance, it will be rerouted to me, or so it's supposed to.
Okay, have you ever known of any incidents where things were sent to board governance but you didn't get it?
I am not aware of any. I'm not aware of any.
Okay.
But I can't say too that we received everything. I'm just not aware of anything.
I understand. We're gonna go back to 13 from the previous deposition here.
So this is 13 from the Herndon deposition?
That's right. And you were sent this email, right?
This is the first time I'm seeing this. I don't recall seeing this.
Well, I look on the third line of emails and it says Carr Aisha, and then it's got in parentheses Cara1@Milwaukee K12WI.US. Do you see that?
It's on there, yes.
Okay, so you received this, right?
I am not confirming that I said I haven't seen this. I'm not aware of this. I mean, my email is there, but that doesn't mean I have actually seen it or reviewed it. I'm not aware.
So you don't read all your emails, right?
I try to, but it is honestly difficult to keep up with emails when there are pressing issues brought up through the media where you're being bombarded with hundreds of written correspondence.
Okay, and I get it. You've got to prioritize some things, right?
You try to get to as much as you can, and you're not always perfect or successful with that.
Okay, and do you think the Viterbo University and education programs and licensure concerns is a high level of priority or a low level of priority, or something else?
I'm going to object to the form of the question. It's broad and vague. Also calls for speculation, as she has indicated she did not receive this, or she does not recognize this email. So, calls for speculation. Go ahead and answer if you can.
I think any matter that impacts our teachers, students, families should be of high concern or high priority.
Okay, what steps have you taken to investigate the licensure concerns?
So, as discussed in town halls as well that were recorded, I have engaged with DPI to better understand the licensure processes, requirements. I have met with other administrators in the district, and I've spoke with individuals who have gone through the program, and from there, actions were made.
What does that mean? Actions were made.
And so, whether that be discussing this with someone in the district, superintendent, outside counsel, not outside counsel that has been formally retained, but just trying to learn all that as a board member, all that I can do about this. So I've had the discussions.
Okay. I guess we need to, next one here. I think I only got one copy of this, is that right? Okay. So I'm gonna submit that this is a series of text messages between you and Ms. Folaron.
Okay.
Now, you've texted with Teresa Folaron, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and substantively, right?
I mean, if you consider this substantially, yes.
Okay. So, and if I could just have that document for a second, I appreciate your sharing that with me. Okay. So, if you could just start your examination here on April 26th.
Okay.
Do you see that there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, can you continue reading on to the top of the next page?
Are these blanks on these from the original text, or are they blanked out by your office?
I don't know. I didn't-
When you print them, it doesn't, but I can pull it, so I can get that as well. It's just the email that you have.
We're not gonna respond to that. It's no problem.
So it's just the addresses.
I don't know.
So you don't know if that's text that's blacked out or not?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, so do you see the document there?
Yes.
Okay, does that change your answer about whether or not you received and reviewed this email here? Exhibit, to be clear, I think it's 15 for the record? 15.
13.
13, thank you, Chris.
Well, it's kind of hard to answer that given that there's some blacked out messages. What I can say is the things that were text to me, that was the conversation that I engaged in, but that does not confirm that I actually saw this. That's a direct, that was a direct.
And by this you mean
Or
exhibit
this meaning exhibit
13 from
13,
Herndon
yes,
Deposition.
yes.
Okay, and if I could just see that text again. So my understanding is Exhibit 13 was sent on 4/24 of 2023.
Okay.
Okay, and this is your response to Teresa Folaron on April 26th of 2023. And she says, good morning, and then what email? And then it says, from Margot, something, hold on. Okay? And then I believe there's some blanked out spaces. It says Margot Anderson. And then you respond there, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, I'm going to respond. Do you see that?
Well, I see it, but I don't know whose responses are what. That was the confusion. But I will say that we have engaged in text messages, and to say I will respond, I don't know what else was said after that.
Okay, so for example, it looks like Ms. Folaron is responding, said it was a resend, but it was the only one I got. I told my manager to send it to Michael Harris and to tell his team to not respond. He didn't. So at least I advised him. That person is not in any of our records. If that is true, it is in addition to my concerns. I asked my manager to reach out to DPI. He said he would not. That Viterbo's issues are Viterbo's issues. I spent part of yesterday crying. Did you write that?
No.
Do you believe Ms. Folaron wrote that?
I believe those were her words.
Okay. And what response, if any, did you engage in after receiving that communication?
I mean, you all have the text messages. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm certain it was probably lending sympathy and acknowledging the frustrations, concerns, but I don't know my exact words.
Okay. And she's also communicating to you textually that there are concerns of MPS employees that they're paying for a K-12 program, but they had no kindergarten instruction, right?
I'm going to object to the following question. It's broad and vague, also calls for speculation on the part of this witness, but go ahead and answer if you can.
Restate the question, please.
Sure. These textual communications between you and Ms. Folaron also concern MPS employees that were paying for a quote K-12 program, but not getting kindergarten instruction.
Same objection. Go ahead.
I mean, if it says it, then yes. By this time, I believe I was aware of everything, or not everything, but MPSU situation, and we had received numerous complaints by that time.
Okay. And so therefore we can deduce that there were MPS employees in kindergarten classrooms that were not prepared to be in kindergarten classrooms, correct?
Check the following questions, broad and vague, calls for speculation on the part of this witness. Go ahead and answer if you can.
I have been told that, yes.
Okay, and we can also deduce, or to be clear, you can also deduce that MPS employees were in kindergarten classrooms without the proper licensure, correct?
I have been made aware of that.
Okay, from the moment that you became aware of it to today, what steps have you taken to address that issue?
Check the following questions, broad and vague. Also, it's been asked and answered repeatedly. Go ahead and answer it again.
As a board member, and according to the policy regarding how we engage with the district when it comes to conflicts or concerns that have been brought to our attention, we are mandated to take our concerns to the superintendent. So I usually start there, of which I inquire. I also pulled data. I had meetings with DPI. I engaged with my constituents. Those were some of my actions.
Who did you meet with at DPI?
I spoke with a consultant at the time. I don't recall her name off the top of my head, but she did some consultant work with DPI, and she was able to answer questions as it pertains to licensing credentials, requirements. I had questions about the Ford exam, praxis. It was general questions, not general, questions specific to the licensure process and what it required, the courses. I didn't provide any more detail to them. I was just inquiring about the process and what is needed. Yeah.
So the person that you talked to was not actually employed at DPI, right?
Not an employee, no, but a representative doing work with DPI.
So you didn't actually reach out to DPI, right?
I mean, a consultant of DPI, I would consider that outreach to DPI.
Okay, have you ever formally informed DPI that Milwaukee Public Schools has teachers not licensed for kindergarten teaching kindergarten?
No, I haven't formally informed DPI, no.
Okay, so you just told the consultant, right?
I spoke with the consultant about the process for achieving or pursuing licensure programs, what that entailed, the requirements, all of those details to better understand what some of the complaints were, to put it in context, or to put it into perspective.
What members of the public, if any, did you tell about the fact that MPS has a non-licensed teachers teaching kindergarten?
I don't think, I mean, when you say the public, can you elaborate? Like, what do you mean? Like, am I discussing this during town halls? Am I sharing this just openly? Did I say it on the board floor? What do you mean by informing the public?
My question to you is, can you identify any member of the public who you informed that MPS has non-licensed teachers teaching kindergarten to Milwaukee students?
I'm going to object to the following questions, broad and vague. She's indicated she needs a definition of public to answer that question. You are not giving her a definition of public. So it calls for speculation.
You don't know what public means?
That's just give her your definition of public so she can work with it.
Is there, I mean, is that what the concern, I heard him testifying here, and I want to know,
No,
is
that
that,
was my
excuse me,
objection.
sir, what I'd like to know is that actually what you need to have explained to you, is what public means to me?
Yes, when you say, have I discussed this publicly,
Mm-hmm.
in what context or what specifically are you referencing? Because, I mean,
Sure, my question didn't say publicly. My question as it stands now is to ask you to identify any member of the public who you told about the fact that MPS has non-licensed teachers teaching our kindergarten students.
I'll say this. The public informed me. I've inquired. I've spoke about credentials, the process. what is required. I've acknowledged that things have been brought to my attention.
Okay. Let's go figure out another one here.
I'm glad you find that funny.
No, it wasn't.
That was a Simpsons episode that I was thinking about.